Hello everyone, welcome to what is yet another beautiful weekly market analysis at Forex Lessons with Xauusd. My name is Xauusd, and in today's week we're going to be doing a quickly market analysis on XAUUSD and EURUSD. So if you are new to this channel, please be sure that you hit that like button and subscribe so that you get notified when another video like this gets uploaded. So without wasting any further time, let's jump into today's charts. So today we're gonna start off with XAUUSD. So if you've been watching the previous video, you already know that at XAUUSD we have been on a bullish momentum, and we've been looking for ways to buy on the market. So this means that I'm not gonna dwell much going to the daily time frame and the weekly time frame to actually spot the momentum, because we already know what type of a momentum we're looking for. So I'm gonna just jump to a 4-hour and then just go to the analysis about what I see on XAUUSD. And then from there I'm just gonna jump off to EURUSD, and then from there that's when we're gonna start off with the weekly analysis and then down to the 15 minutes. So looking at XAUUSD, you can see that in the previous video we had a support here. Well, we had a resistance, and then the market broke that resistance, and then it became our support, and then we anticipated that the market was gonna drop up until it reaches that point. That is the retest, and then from there we want to look for the buys. And then you can see that the market did exactly what we anticipated. It made a drop there, and then it started to correct, and then it shot to the upside, and then that's where we had our profits. So now we can see now that the market has given us that structure. So what this means is that the only thing that we need to look for, because if we know our momentum and then we see that the market now is currently correcting, it means that now the only thing that we should look for is what? Is to look for other ways to buy on the market. So the structure that I see here, this type of a correction that I see here, I can see is some sort of a repetition pattern. I can see this is a structure like this one here. So this is something like this one. If I can just move with here, you can actually see that this is something more similar, not exactly the same, but it's more or less similar to this pattern here. So meaning that XAUUSD likes to do some repetition onto the on the market. Basically now we can see that it's a repetition. So what this means is that we're gonna jump off to our weekly into our 1 hour time frame, and then from there we're just gonna look for ways to actually buy on the market. So to do that, I'm just gonna draw my support there, because I can see that the market has been struggling a lot to this point here. That's where we took our buys actually last week, and then you see that there was like a lot of struggle there, and then we pushed there, and then that's where we hit our profit there, and then it started to reverse now. But now, as we know, we are on what? We're on a bullish momentum, so we're looking for ways to actually buy on the market. So the first thing that I've spotted is our support there, and then I can also see that at the top we have our resistance, but I can see that the support here is quite big. Let's just go to the 1 hour to actually see if you can draw the one that is a lot better. Yeah, you see this one is much more better than the one that we just drew there. Okay, let's go back to 1 hour. So we have our support there, and then we have our resistance there. So what are we anticipating now? You can see that XAUUSD, when after it hit that the take profit, it started to reverse to the downside. That is shot to the downside, then corrected and shot again to the downside. So now, because this was an impulsive move, we're expecting now that XAUUSD is going to start to correct, or it's going to start by doing this type of a movement, correct to the upside, then short to the downside, and then start to correct like that. So if XAUUSD does something like that, that's when we're gonna put our buys again, and then our risk 3.4. We don't risk more than that, and then that's gonna be our first take profit. You can see the risk here, the risk reward ratio is 8.5, so that's okay. And then when the market gets there, should it break that area there, that's when we're gonna actually push up until we get to this point. And then once it breaks that point, we're gonna push again the market up until that point there. So this is gonna be our final point here. Okay, why am I saying this? The reason why I'm saying we're gonna push up until we get there, because we are anticipating that XAUUSD is trying to push up until it gets to this lower high, to create some lower high there. So should it decide to break out this area there, should it decide to break out this strong zone here, then that's when we're gonna see that XAUUSD is now clear from the correction, and then now it's actually buying to the upside. But for now, this is what we're gonna look for. So this trade here, we're gonna swing it up until we get there. That is, we're gonna hold it longer, and then we're just gonna have our positions. That is, the first position is gonna be there, and the second position is gonna be here. That is at the breakout. Our risk is gonna be 3.4 again, and then final take profit, that's where we're going. And then our last position is just gonna be here again, 3.4, and then to the final profit. So I hope you see this. I hope it makes sense to you also. And then that's all for XAUUSD. So anything that is to anything that's gonna happen which is not what we're anticipating here, it means that we're just gonna wait for XAUUSD to give us another form of structure. But for now, this is what XAUUSD is giving us, and then that's what we're gonna look for. So that's it for XAUUSD. Now we're just gonna move on to EURUSD. So EURUSD, I haven't shared anything with you guys, but now for EURUSD, I'm just gonna quickly start off with the weekly time frame. So we're gonna start off with the weekly time frame, and then, as you all know guys, when we're doing market the top down analysis, that is when we analyze in the market, we start off with the weekly time frame. If you haven't watched the previous video about the update on the top down analysis, please be sure that you go to the link there on the description and then watch that video first, because now what I'm gonna apply here is exactly what I've applied on the video. So it's very important that you watch that video, and also very important that you see how I actually do the top down analysis, because there I'm actually going deep down into each and everything that I'm looking for when I'm analyzing on the market. So looking at EURUSD on a weekly time frame, you can see that the EURUSD, the momentum here is bullish. Why? If I look back, that is here again, guys, if you don't get what I'm doing, please make sure that you watch the video. Starting from here up until now, we can see that the market here had an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, and then now an impulse. So now we see that it's trying to push to the upside and probably trying to break the correction here. So what this means now, it means now we're gonna jump off to a daily time frame. Don't worry guys, this has already been explained on the previous video. If you wanna understand each and every point that I'm doing right here, please be sure that you watch that previous video. Okay, so we can see right here that we saw that on a weekly time frame we had this correction, and then now we're just actually drawing it, right? We're just making it visible. And then now we can see that we're at the correction, and then now we so now we're just gonna jump off to the 4-hour time frame. So to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that here Euro USD is actually reaching that point there. And then now we can see that the market has closed with the impulsive move, that is with a big bullish candlestick. Okay, let me just fix that. Okay, and then here we see that we had our resistance previously. If you can watch here, we had our resistance, and then XAUUSD broke that resistance and then retested, and then now it's finally doing what? It's finally pushing to the upside. And then here, this was another resistance, and then Euro USD has broken that resistance. So now this means now that we should look for our new resistance. Let me just get that first. So it means now that we should look for our new resistance, and then this is going to be our new resistance. So what are we seeing for Euro USD? So we're seeing that for Euro USD, let me just check a bit this. Okay, let's move this one close. Okay, let's go to a 15 minutes to just draw this one better, to make it much more better. Okay, so we are saying that now we're anticipating that Euro USD, she had an impulse move there. So now we're seeing that it's trying to get to that area there, but we see this resistance here. Let me see if I can draw a nicer one, because this one is quite big. Okay, let's go to the 15 minutes. For those who don't know this platform, we call it, it's called Trading View. Make sure that you get this one for yourself, because it's actually nice for making analysis. Okay, so now that we have that, let's then move on to the current price market. Okay, so you see now it's much more better now. Okay, so what are we anticipating? So we can see that we had our impulse move here, and now we're anticipating that for this week Euro USD is gonna start to correct to the upside, right? Once it gets there, that's when we're gonna look for our sells, and then the stop loss, we're gonna put it at 20 pips, and then we're just gonna push the market up until here. So up until we get here, let me just tweak this one a bit also. Right, so up until we get to this point. So should the market now actually break below this area here, should it break below this support, then that's when we're just gonna know that XAUUSD now is doing what? Is actually reversing, right? That's when we will know that Euro USD, sorry, is actually reversing up until we get to that point there. So for now, what we're going to look for is what Euro USD is going to do when the market opens. But this is what we're going to look for, because this one is much more easier than the other one. Well, than the other one, when I mean the other one, I mean by that it's much more simpler than waiting for the breakout and the correction and the push to the upside, because this structure here, this is a strong structure, so it's not going to be easy to break this structure. But should the market break this structure, then that's when we're going to look for the breakout and the correction to the downside. Let me just see if I can get this entry here within tighter stop loss, because this one's much more bigger. Or with this stop loss, let's put it 10, and then let's just move this one at 3. Yes, so that's basically our minimum risk reward ratio is 3. So if our entries doesn't give us 1:3, then we don't take that entry. So it needs to give us 1:3 or more. So this is what we see for EURUSD, and that's all for this week. If you haven't already, please make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe so that you can get notified when videos like these ones get uploaded. Please enjoy the rest of your week. Cheers.